Hello there guys, and welcome to yet another video. And we want to look at how to create this, specifically this, without having to do any custom code. So what we have here is what you're going to build, and we're also going to add this chart here, line chart. So this chart is not really going to make any sense, but I'm just using it to display this graphical UI. So what you're going to do is we're going to hop in and try and build this together, right? So already I've done this in radsystems. So what I'm going to do is just delete everything. So I have this blank page here. So if I publish this, it should be blank right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a section. So the section is the first thing I'm going to create, and I'm going to just drop that. Now down here, when we have record counts, I have what I basically want to show. I want to show posts first, and then I want to show categories second, and I'm going to show users last. So if I publish this, this is the default one that we get here, right? However, since there are only three, I want to make this column to be column 4, right? And also make this to be column 4 also, and the third one should also be column number 4, like that. So if I publish this, you know these are now at least they are longer. However, when they stretch too much, it kind of looks not really good for me. So what I'm going to do is make it just a little bit centered. So I'm going to make that container fluid here, make that container fluid, and we should have something looking like this, right? So now the next thing I need to do is only one thing. I'm only going to edit this in one place. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to where we have this card class, right? So I'm going to remove this text blue. So when you remove that text blue, you should publish and see what you get, right? So I'm also going to remove this BG blue here, and this is what you're having, right? However, I want it to look better. I'm going to say surface ground. So I'm using prime view. So this is strictly for prime view. That class is strictly for prime view. So when I do ground, it kind of blends in with my code, right? My big background, that is. And I also want to remove this bluish color from there. I'm going to come here and remove this, all of it, right? So when I remove it, I have this just like that, right? Now what I'm going to do is change this to be another icon. So I'm going to say book, right? So let me just use this book. So when I publish that, I should have that looking something like that, right? So however, remember the other one, when you hover on top of it, it turns bluish, right? So I'm going to do hover blue BG primary, right? So when you say hover BG primary, it should be like that. So when I hover on top of it, it should be primary. However, it doesn't have to be primary. It can be any color. You could even have orange 300 like that. So you can say BG orange 300. So it's up to you. So for you to know which class you can use for the color, you can go to prime view documentation and look at their color links, and you can use those colors here. But for this one, let's do BG primary, right? Like that. So when you publish that, every time you hover, it should appear like that. So icon class, we should have it looking like that. So we can also do icon, okay, progress bar. We don't need progress bar, but if you need progress bar, you can just turn it on, and it should look something like that, which we don't want, so you can just switch that off. Right, so title, posts, animation class, show description. All right, so we have that. Now just copy this, copy that, and you're going to paste it everywhere here, like that. So when I publish this, it should look something like that. So now I'm going to copy for the icon, go on top here, copy the icon class, just remove the icon class actually, and remove the icon class here. So when you publish that, you should have them looking like that. So now for the categories, I'm going to pick another icon, say list, right? For the users, I'm going to pick users. like that. So when you publish this, we now have this looking that way. Right, now the next thing I need to do is I'm going to create a new section here, and I'm also going to make it a container fluid. Right, so now here what we can do is we can say that we want to drag a line chart. So I'm going to drag and drop a line chart, and the way I'm going to add data to it is using the data source, and I'm just going to do query designer, and I'm just going to get all the posts here. Right, add table. So for you to make sure that it's working, you can click on results and you should see this right here. Right, so now that I have that, I can create a label field which is going to be headline, and the data set 1 is going to be the value that maybe I want here, and the title I can just say ID, right? And the background color, we are going to make the background color to be, instead of random colors, I can choose a color which will be this bluish, and that way we should have our graph here. So when I log back in, we now have our chart right about here, right? So you can just go ahead and customize it if they are offering this. So you can say maybe BG primary. It's really up to you. So this should cover the whole thing, but because we don't want it to be BG primary, I can just say surface ground so that it matches with whatever that we had here at the top, right? So you notice that now we have this looking this way. Great. Now for the border, which is this border here that you can click on, you can hover on to see this. What I'm going to do on it is, for the color here, border color, you can just choose the bar colors here. Choose color, and let's say that maybe we want it to be I don't know, let's use this color here. Let's publish, and that should do it. Yeah, there you go. So now it looks something like that, right? So now what we need to do is you can change the header here and say post performance, like that. Create the description will be, this is a chart for a video, like that. So when you publish this, you should have this and a description of what the chart is supposed to be doing, right? So with that, you could do a few things. Maybe you could add like a list, maybe a text here. You can add a new column. Just drag and drop this here. Then you can make this to be called 12, like that. Publish that. Then inside here we can add a text header, right? So just drag and drop this and say we want this to be post charts, like that, right? So when you publish this, by default it comes with that color there. So you can change maybe the class, the sizing. Okay, you can even have a subtitle here, a chart showing performance, right? Alright, so whatever you want could be there. So here you could even say maybe you want this to be 2 Excel, like that, so that it's kind of a little bit bigger. There you go. And then you can even say for the subtitle we want it to be text small, like that, so that it kind of becomes smaller. And you can say font light, publish, and there you go. So you should have something like that. Same thing for this, in case they offer that, but it doesn't seem like they're offering it. And that would be it. So you could even add the hover for this chart here by doing hover BG green 50. So if you hover, it should turn greenish like this. So if you come here and you hover, it should be turn greenish or something. So whichever color you want to give it, that's what you would do to make that happen. So that's how you do that customization in 10 minutes. So that will be it, guys, and I will see you in the next video.